Bengals' last practice before hitting the road for preseason game number 2 is in the books, Skinny, and maybe a good sign. The defense played really well today on the field. Hopefully they can carry that over into Monday night.
Yeah, they had some situational stuff they did today. They had some drive-it periods where literally the offense starts at a place and is trying to drive it down the field, and the defense turned them back. They also had some low red zone situations. Demetrius Knight made just a gorgeous one-hand interception. I think you were in the end zone to see that, so you didn't get blocked out. A bunch of us were on the other side of the field, and we saw the pass go, and for a second I thought the receiver made a really good catch on that. And all of a sudden I see the defense celebrating, and you see Demetrius with the ball in one arm, and I'm like, I think he intercepted that, and a couple people down said, oh, he did intercept that. I mean, it was, I could see it unfolding. I just didn't see the final result of it. I never would have believed that. So he's had a great camp, and that's been good to see. You know, Shamar Stewart's getting a chance now to run with the ones because Miles Murphy's not practicing due to an injury that Zach Taylor said he doesn't think is long-term. He said maybe a weekish, and you're still now a few weeks away from the regular season opener, so he's going to be held out of the Washington game. We'll get to some more of those guys in just a second, but Shamar is running with the ones. Obviously, no Trey Hendrickson helps that too, and again, he keeps showing up. I think you can see when they have their first-team cornerback group, and it's Cam Taylor-Britt, Dax Hill, and then today it was Josh Newton. DJ Turner figures into some of that mix too, but he wasn't practicing today due to that looks like left calf injury, if you will. You can just see the difference when those guys are out there. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, you know, Geno Stone is back in uniform, but he's not practicing 11-on-11s. But I think Tyson Anderson's done a nice job. I want to see it when it comes real. I'm looking forward to seeing him because he'll be running with the ones. Geno's not going to play on Monday. Again, we'll get to some more of these. We probably will trickle these through, it seems like. But Geno won't play on Monday. So you're going to see Tyson Anderson, and maybe you'll see Tyson Anderson for a series with the ones, Dejon Anthony with a series with the ones. So, you know, you got to sort some of that stuff out for sure.
Yeah, Tyson has made a lot of plays over there with the ones, was out there today a lot. And you brought up Demetrius Knight and the play that he made. Was speaking with him after practice, and I asked him about, you know, what this week was like. First NFL action last Thursday didn't really go the way that he probably would have hoped for going into his first game. And he talked about how important it was for him and how crucial it was getting that film and kind of fixing those things on the practice field this week, trying to improve on week 2.
Yeah, I did a story on him early in camp, and I think he's one of those guys. Listen, he practiced in OTAs when he wasn't under contract. He signed the waiver because he thought it was important. I want to get these practice reps under my belt. And I can still remember him laughing when he told me that first OTA practice I went through, because I was like a chicken with my head chopped off, just running around not knowing what I was doing. Then after that first training camp practice, I think that's when I talked to him. It was one of the early ones. It might have been the first one. He talked about how everything's kind of slowed down for him. I think he's one of those guys, like, now this is his first game, right? To the point you said you talked to him, and now he's got some tape to look at. I think he's one of those guys when he can kind of understand that and get through the first wave of that, it just is going to keep getting better and better the more he stacks games and practice reps.
Then you have the cornerback depth, a little more of a lineup. Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be out there, so hopefully that helps the secondary that really they struggled in that first preseason game. All right, now let's get into some of the injury updates. You brought up a few of the people that aren't going to be playing on Monday night. Who can we expect to see and not see on the field, more importantly?
Yeah, I think to your point, Cam Taylor-Britt's going to get some snaps. Dax Hill's going to get some snaps. Neither one of those guys played in the first preseason game. The interesting one today was Cody Ford was on the rehab field. He did not come up. We asked Zach just a generic question. I asked him at the start of the press conference of, you know, who's not going to play, just so we could, and he's trying to run through them in his mind too. I think that's what we all were doing. So we ran through them, you know. Devin Cochran, who's been hurt, is not going to play. Jermaine Burton, by the way, was back at practice, but he did not take any reps in team stuff, so I doubt he plays in this game either. I mentioned Geno Stone won't play in this game. But Cody Ford, they've been working him at that swing tackle spot, left tackle, right tackle. He didn't go today. I can't imagine that he goes in Washington. Maybe he does. Maybe this was more of a just get some conditioning in day for him. I don't know the answer to that, but he certainly didn't take any reps. One other notable injury, Cordell Volson, not only will not play in this game, but that sounds longer term. I think he's dealing with a shoulder issue. He got hurt in practice yesterday. Might have even been before that. So he's a guy that, you know, right now the depth at guard is really thin. I mean, Cody's been repping some at guard. You know, today we saw, I think it was Andrew Stuber playing with the twos at left guard and Jalen Rivers, the rookie, playing at right guard. And I mean, right now, if you had to play a game tomorrow, a real game, Jalen Rivers would probably be your backup swing tackle and your backup guard. And this is no knock on Jalen Rivers. That's a tough spot to be in if you're the Bengals. I mean, that shows that the depth goes really quickly on the offensive line. I think they're hurting a little bit in that regard at the moment.
Well, I think I know what your answer to this question is going to be, but preseason game number 2 on Monday night, what are you looking for the most in that game?
I want to see, obviously, get some more snaps for the first-team offense and see a little bit better play from Lucas Patrick. I don't think it was as awful as some fans made it out to be. Again, Joe didn't get hit. Joe did have to scramble some. Hey, Lucas Patrick got tossed once. I mean, there were things that you go, okay, that didn't look very good. So that's one thing I want to see. I mean, I guess the backup offensive line, you know, they've kind of gotten dominated. Today they actually did ones against twos and twos against ones. So part of me wonders if, honestly, the coaching staff, and sometimes Coach Marvin Lewis used to do that all the time when he was a head coach. He ran a lot of ones versus twos, twos versus ones. But I wonder if they just said, listen, I don't need this offensive line or this defensive line, this first-team defensive line wrecking my practice again today. And so I think, you know, maybe that played into it a little bit. And sometimes you want to see different combinations go as well. I want to see the safety spot opposite Jordan Battle with Geno Stone not playing. What does Tyson Anderson look like in a game? What does Dejon Anthony look like with more reps with the first team? I want to see Charlie Jones. I think he has really popped in camp at this point. He made I don't know if it was a catch or not, but he got drilled by P.J. Jules on a catch along the sidelines. It looked to me like he kept his feet in. I would have to look at it again, but it was just the concentration of it and the fact that, you know, in these practices, they're not supposed to hit a ton. I mean, sometimes guys hit and get hit because it just is the nature of the beast. This was a full-fledged P.J. Jules coming like a missile and just blasting him along the sidelines. I'm not sure he was ready for it, but he hung on to it. And so those are some of the things I think are going to be fun to watch. I want to watch a little bit more Taj Brooks, too. I thought he looked really good in preseason game number 1. The stats don't show it, but he also didn't have a lot of holes to run through. So there's always stuff to look forward to, especially when you get to see the starters play some extended snaps.
All right, there it is, your preview of Bengals preseason game number 2 on Monday night. Some Monday Night Football action for the Bengals in Washington. And then it's a short week before they take on Indy in the preseason finale.